At the beginning of the movie, we can see a couple driving to a location. The car was low in fuel, so they pull over at a gas station to fill up some gas. The man's wife, Lisa, went into the convenience store to use the washroom, where she gets a text from someone mysterious and seemed pretty nervous and scared. Lisa comes out of the store and a random man is seen calling her for something. She hesitantly goes there to help while her husband is unaware of it. Within minutes, she is nowhere to be seen. Her husband, Will, goes inside the store to check up on her, but he finds nobody there. At this point, he starts to get worried a lot and asks nearby people if they saw his wife around in a white top and blue jeans. But nobody had seen her. While Will was looking for his wife, the gas station attendant looks at him as if he knew something and tried to hide. After struggling to find her around the gas station, Will goes back into the store stressed out and asks the store attendant the address of the gas station and the local police station number. Will calls the police immediately and starts giving them his wife's details. Will's call is transferred to Detective Patterson, where Will tells the detective that it's been 20 minutes his wife has been missing. At first, the detective didn't take it serious and tried to calm down Will. Will started getting angry at the detective and asked to send help as soon as possible, to which Detective Patterson agrees to come on his own, since he didn't have anyone else to dispatch at that moment. The next scene, Will is seen heading to Lisa's parents' house to see if Lisa was there. But she wasn't there either. Lisa's parents started blaming Will for Lisa being missing. Will and Lisa's parents have an argument over this. Will tells them that he called the cops already and asks them to call Lisa's friends. Lisa's parents do not believe Will for anything he told them, because they never trusted him. Once again, Will is seen waiting for the detective to arrive at the gas station. Will finds his wife's purse at the leg space of the passenger seat, and is sure now that something happened to her, and he is seen having tears in his eyes. The scene is moved to a flashback from the past. They are seen having a small argument. Lisa told Will that she doesn't feel anything for him anymore and needs a break. However, Will had no idea about this and didn't see it coming because he was mostly out for work. This broke his heart and was left devastated. In the next scene, the detective arrives at the gas station and takes Lisa's rest of the belongings from the car. They go inside the store to question the attendant, who is revealed to be Oscar. The detective asks Oscar for the surveillance tape, but he told the detective that the cameras are busted. The detective goes back to the police station with Lisa's laptop. While Will was standing outside the store, he notices that the cameras were working, which made him suspicious. He talks to Oscar about the working cameras, but Oscar seemed to make excuses, which made Will enraged, and he gave Oscar a taste of his wrath and eventually took the video recorder. He takes the video recorder to Detective Patterson and they started looking at the footage. Finally, they found out that Lisa was seen getting into a random guy's car. Will has no idea who that person is. Will was taken to a different room for private questioning. The detective started asking some questions about Will's work and his marriage. It is revealed that Will is a real estate developer and has quite a lot of money. On the other hand, Will was hesitant to talk about his marriage. He told Mr. Patterson that they had some issues in the past and his wife had an affair. At this point, Will was under the suspicion radar because the way he was acting. Will goes back to Lisa's parents' house, where Will showed Barry and Anna the surveillance recording and asked them if they knew the man Lisa went into the car with. Barry seemed to recognize the man immediately and tells Will that he is their handyman who worked at their house several times. Lisa's mom, Anna, recognized the car and she tells Will that she had seen this car at a garage sale on Archer Grove. Will arrives at the location and takes a crowbar out of his car. He sees the same man inside the trailer house and started going in slowly. Will finally encounters the man and asks where he took his wife. The culprit tried to escape, but Will was determined to get his answers. They have a brutal fight and Will is able to take control over him. Will punched the culprit until he told him that he took his wife to a guy named Frank. The culprit agrees on taking Will to Frank. Will ties the hands and feet of the culprit with duct tape and puts him into his car trunk. While Will was driving to Frank's location, he is pulled over by a police officer. The officer got suspicious of something and asked Will to open the trunk of his car. Will had no other choice left but to run away from there. The officer called for dispatch right away. On the other hand, the detective is seen talking to Lisa's parents, Barry and Anna. The detective asks them if they know anybody named Clint. Barry and Anna told the detective that Clint is someone Lisa was seeing. Lisa's last 3 emails were from Clint, asking Lisa to meet up, and Lisa never replied to any of his emails. Lisa's parents start to get panic at this point and told the detective to take the handyman into custody, but the detective let them know that there is no crime committed, because the handyman was their trusted guy and Lisa bumped into him at a gas station, so he legally can't be considered a suspect without evidence. On the other hand, Will is running through the woods to get to Frank. He stumbles upon an ATV of a guard of Frank. Will tells him that he is looking for Frank to do some business. The guard gets suspicious and started asking Will security questions, but eventually he let Will go through. We can see that at Frank's location they do illegal business and cook meth. When Will gets there and sees Oscar getting out of his car, which made him sure that Oscar was also a part of the kidnapping, Will takes out his gun, which he stole from Handyman's trailer. He goes inside their meth lab and encounters Frank and his partner. Frank's partner is put to eternal sleep as soon as he picked up a weapon to shoot Will. Frank, on the other hand, ran away from there and started shooting at Will, but he was also put to eternal sleep by Will. During that shooting, a chemical was lit to a small fire. Will came outside unaware of the fire and started searching for his wife, but couldn't find her anywhere. Now we are moved to a scene where the detective is seen talking to Handeman. At first, Handeman didn't tell the truth, but after using brutal force by the detective, he confesses that the lady is dead. Will encounters Oscar pointing a gun at him. Oscar asks for $20,000 in exchange for Lisa's information. All of a sudden, the building behind Oscar explodes and sent him to eternal sleep. The scene is moved back to the culprit Handeman. He is telling the detective rest of the story. He confesses to Detective Patterson that he was told to dig a hole beside Frank's house to put Lisa in and bury her there. But Handeman ran away from there, since he knew Frank was mad at him for bringing the girl to him, and Frank was going to take Handeman's life too. The detective looks at the hole, but he found nobody there. Nearby, a loud sound was coming from a small storage hut. Lisa was found there tied. It was a relief for Will to see his wife alive. Will took her home and they started a new life.